All righty, guys. It is 3:30 this Tuesday, February 11th, and we're holding on pretty darn good. So we are range bound still. Bias is, I would say, still to the upside. We are up against this upper edge at the 61, 60.95 to 6100s, and so far that's holding. We'll see if we can hold into the close, but so far the no weakness, no sell-off yet at least. So we'll see if they're going to hold that into the close. But right now it looks pretty good. So I would start off range bound with a slight bias to the upside. Watching this upper edge, if the T2 areas of resistance, the 60.95 to 6100, where they are trading right now, or just shy of it. And then, of course, the 6110. So I would be looking for short setups against both of those in the overnight for rotations back down again. So failure to take it out is what you're looking at. Now, news for tomorrow, though. We got mortgage apps at 7, but then we have CPI at 8:30. So that could be a potential game changer. Also, Powell's talking at 10. He didn't make news today, so hopefully he doesn't make news tomorrow. Oil report at 10:30, and then we have a 10-year auction at 1. So a couple of Fed speakers after that as well. But I think CPI tomorrow morning at 8:30 potentially could pop it or sink it. Depends on how it comes out. If it starts coming in harder than expected, I think the bias is going to be the downside. So that could make the case for a potential short against these upper areas. So that's how we get started in the overnight. Looking to buy weakness, I would just look to buy against the 85s, maybe down to the 75s, so rotations back up. If they trade below the 75s, I'm back range bound on this one. So there we have it. On the downside, same analysis as before. Not unless they start taking out that 6040s, or we need to worry about the short side in this, or looking at potentially changing our bias to the downside. But we still have a pretty good area of support below it. So that's how we get started. If they can take out this upper areas of resistance. So far, they're definitely trying. So been a slow grind. It's been a choppy day. There have been a lot of action, then dead areas, and then big action, and nothing, and then difficult stuff. So if you try to get short against that tablet, you find yourself in a really shitty spot, and big reactions at that. So difficult trading. I only took one trade early on this morning. I took myself out of it, and that was it. I haven't re-engaged at all today since. I took one more Nasdaq trade, which I talked about in the last update. So bonds and the Nasdaq, so one market is just range bound, not going anywhere. So I wouldn't worry too much about that guy. They're down here. Yeah, I would just start range bound. I would leave a bias to the downside on the bonds, see if they can head back down to that 114 level. But they're definitely well below that 115 and staying below it. So I would look for short setups against 15s, 1506s for rotations back down. And that was about it. On the buy side, if they head down towards the 114, support could hold anyway on the way down. They have a pretty good support there at the 14, 22, 23. It's worth looking and paying attention to, but we'll see if the overnight's going to just bust through that or not. Nasdaq, the one trade on Nasdaq, that's right there on the way down. They looked for a potential continuation to the upside. So I bought that little pullback, and it's just got to break even, and then shook me out. So nothing much to show for it. So that's one trade on that one. So range bound trading, I would stay on the long side. Look to buy weakness. If this starts trading below this B and G 710s, I would take off that long bias and go back more range bound. So far, we're still looking at the potential retest failure trade here at the upper areas. This is the fourth time to try to take it high. Could not retest 885, stalling right at the 840s. So we'll see if they can make something out of this or not. But chances are we're going to be backing off from these upper areas. They have not been able to bust through it. And unless the CPI just blows through this tomorrow, then I think we're probably going to see a little bit of weakness, what I'm thinking. Finally, oil and gold. Gold has been all over the place, and it's been a crazy day on gold. They were way up to the 2960s, and then reversed all the way down here to the 2905s. And then they were right back up again to the attractor area. Now they're showing a little bit of weakness. So I would start range bound, looking maybe a bias to the downside to see you can retest these lows at the 29, 15, 16. So it's going to be in the support area around about here. And if that comes out, I would stay on the short side. I would lean in on the short side and see if you can retrace this all the way back down to the 2850s. So at this point, range bound around 2930. Watch that lower edge. If that comes out, I think we may be retracing a bit. And if they take out this upper area, it's going to be an edge up here at the 37.40s. If that comes out, yeah, stay on the long side. I mean, it's going to go crazy on the upside. It's still not done yet, it looks like. Haven't traded gold today. And oil is as flat out range bound. Not much happening on that guy. We'll see what happens here going into the overnight. The chances are we're probably going to be range bound. If anything, maybe bias to the upside to get started. Watching that lower edge. This at the 72.40 to 50s. If they trade below that one, we are back range bound. So slight long bias given that they are trading higher until we get some clarity in the tariff or something gets resolved. I think the price pressure is going to be to the upside, at least in the short term. All right, so there we have it. Two trades, one Nasdaq, one ES. Nothing to show for it today. Both one was a shake at, one I scratched, and that was about it. So we'll leave it there, guys. I'll see you back bright and early in the morning. Let's see how that CPI goes. Alrighty, guys, later.